bolted together, and we will ensure the proper clearance in front of the switch gears. And then yung similar approach, since these are all modular, so yung mga open walls niya will be covered temporarily with bolted and braced corrugated steel covers. No? So yan yung mga typical arrangement natin or configuration natin sa EcoFlex. Okay, so ito pa mga isang standard cross-sectional views just for your information para meron kayong idea on how we actually deliver and build those equipment inside the container solutions. All right. So ito pa yung site mounting stand frame natin. So we can actually supply this as flat pack. So this is an optional item also, or you can also, perhaps if you have some civil works or civil contractors, then you can actually proceed to do this on site. Okay, para isi-set in place na lang natin yung mga modular equipment natin pagka-deliver sa site. Yeah. This is just an example of a completed project for your reference. No? So again, this is applicable to infrastructure, renewables, data center, temporary power, utility, mining, oil and gas, mga sa ano natin, sa mga shipyard natin, no? And of course, EV charging facility. Okay. So this is actually applicable for a bigger or higher capacity. No? Meron din tayong tinatawag na compact secondary substation solutions, which is actually limited to 3.5 MVA substations, no? 3.5 MVA capacity. No? Ito naman yung tinatawag natin na compact secondary substation, CSS. No? So dito sa CSS natin, unlike dun sa EcoFlex natin, actually itong CSS wala na siyang requirements for additional ACMB. Kasi kung makikita nyo dito sa design natin, this allowing free air or natural air para sa mga equipments natin. Therefore, you will be not requiring any additional ACMV requirements on mechanical ventilations, no? And this is also tested, no, in accordance to IEC standard, no? So this is type tested as per the latest international standard, IEC 62271-202. No, this is internal art tested for public and service personal safety. No, so you can actually house it outside the building where people can pass. Of course, this will be lockable to avoid unauthorized access. Okay, so this is again a compact solution with a smaller footprint compared to the EcoFlex na discussed ko earlier. No, and similar to EcoFlex, this is designed optimized for optimal footprint utilization and faster delivery. And with regards to the reliability, this is a plug-and-play solution, including the medium voltage switchgear, the transformer, and low voltage switchgear. So this is similar to EcoFlex solution. It provides easy and fast installation, commissioning, and relocation. No? So it provides natural cooling of transformer to reduce risk of failure. Okay? So ito yung typical arrangement naman niya sa loob. So meron tayong medium voltage switchgear dito para sa incoming natin. And then we have the transformer equipment, and then of course we have the low voltage switchboard or low voltage breakers. No? So the difference is that this can only accommodate up to 3.5 MVA lang. No? So if in case we need to have a larger capacity, then we will be using the EcoFlex solutions. No? So same with EcoFlex, this can also accommodate up to 40.5 kV voltage level. No? So we can use the gas insulated switchgear or yung RMU natin para dito sa solution na sa to. And then we can opt to use oil type or dry type transformers depende sa project requirements natin. No? Okay. So if in case we need substation automation, then we can also place in the remote terminal units or the auxiliary controls dito sa loob ng mga compartments natin. Then I'll show you later how it is actually installed. Okay, so ito yung mga typical parameters niya. So up to 3.5 MVA capacity, 40.5. This is the short circuit level, the IP rating, and the dimensions ng compact secondary substations natin. Okay. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa this is a cross-sectional view, no? Some cases baka kailangan natin ng mga ah, baka kailangan natin ng mga remote terminal units para sa substation automations natin. So we can also accommodate and house it here inside these compartments, no? And if we require some digital solutions, like for example, we would like to have temperature monitoring, health monitoring, control solutions package or substation automations and protection package. This can also be done, no? So meron tayong arc detection. Of course, we can provide yung mga protection release natin via IEC 62850. And then we can provide the battery if in case we will be needing an externally powered supply protection relays, and of course to power up the the power for the auxiliary systems, no? So this is an all-in-one approach. So nandito na lahat ng mga kailangan natin. We don't need to have additional interfacing outside of the solution, no? Okay. So, since yung transformer natin, for example, if we are actually providing a dry type transformer, yung dry type transformer natin is actually an F1 fire class, no? It complies to IEC 60076-11, no? That actually does not require any more any external fire protection system, no? So this is suitable to install in places subject to a fire hazard, and it restricts flammability, minimize emission of toxic substances and opaque smoke. And the transformer do not contribute significantly to the thermal energy of an external fire. So that's why, as I mentioned earlier, dito wala ka ng ibang mga services na kailangan, no? So hindi mo na siya kailangan ng ACMV, hindi mo na rin siya kailangan ng fire protection, no? So, and this is also internally ARC classified, no? So this is type tested in accordance to IEC standards, no? So this is just an example of the actual testing that has been conducted to one of our equipment, no? So kung makikita nyo, walang plasma na lumabas dun sa equipment natin, no? Meron lang siyang smoke emission which is already directed and which is already considered dun sa design ng substation natin. So we can actually direct the gas upward or downward directions, no? So therefore, the people passing by this area or the maintenance personnel which is around the area will be safe in case there's some internal arc fault that happens, no? And of course, yung one compartment natin will not have any impact to the other compartment in case of any internal arc fault na nangyari sa isang equipment natin. Therefore, that will also not much impact to the availability of the power supply natin. Okay? So this is just an example, no? Nung mga design na ginawa natin. So ito, yung hindi arc-proof na CSS. So makita mo yung mga plasma lumalabas na nung compact substations, whereas here the gas is actually since this is already arc tested, so walang lalabas na plasma, and the gas can be directed downwards, no, para walang lalabas na usok dun sa perimeter or dun sa adjacent area nung CSS natin. Okay, so it's an arc-proof medium voltage switch geared inside the CSS. Okay, and compact substation needs to be tested with medium voltage switchgear due to the following cases. So sometimes meron tayong overpressure inside CSS, meron tayong overpressure on RMU covers, and meron tayong hot gases routing inside the substation. Kaya yung type testing ni ABB actually is considering or including the RMU or the switchgear inside the CSS. Okay, so it's very important that the hot gases will be managed, of course, for safety purposes. Yan. When it comes to ventilation, kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, wala tayong ACMB requirements na kailangan, no? So sa data center especially, no, medyo malaking factor to dahil alam natin na yung PUE nung data center natin as much as possible is pinapababa natin, no? So if we will be able to eliminate all the mechanical ventilations or the ACMV equipment na nakikater para dito sa mga substation equipment natin, Therefore, that will actually lower down the PUE. No, compared to conventional substation, of course, we will be having a typical ACMV system that will require power supply, no, and that will include actually increase the PUE of the whole data centers, no, and that can be eliminated with this type of solution. So that's why recently we have been supporting some data centers who is actually adopting this kind of design. So globally, this type of design has also been already adopted, no? And we look forward that the Philippines will also be adopting similar type of arrangement. Okay, so this is just an example, no? This is actually for uh, cryptocurrency or data center facility, no? So again, as I mentioned last time, yung data center, it's actually conducted for phases, no? So perhaps they will be only building this phase, this data hall, no? So we can actually provide perhaps 2 units of the compact secondary substation first. Then later on, if they would like to build this one, they don't need to redesign the whole thing. They can just add in. So it's actually modular, flexible, and fully scalable. No? So similarly, as the project or the phases proceed, so pwede tayo magkabit hanggang ma-fully utilize natin yung total capacity ng data center natin. Okay? So yan yung mga typical example. And then in renewables, alam naman natin yung mga renewables, for example, typical capacity lang muna i-install natin. Then pwede rin natin ikabit based on the current capacity of the renewable plant natin. Then later on, we can expand further if there's a need to increase the capacity. Okay? So since this is modular, scalable, and flexible, we can actually accommodate different type of configurations, no? So pwede tayo magkaroon ng radial topology, or we can have the ring topology naman, no? So just imagine, going back to the pictures, you can actually loop all these together to complete a ring network, or we can just have a radial connections to the distributions, no? So it's very flexible, depende sa required nating reliability para doon sa facility natin. Okay. So ito yung typical footprint size natin, no? So paano ko ba nasabi na mas na-optimize natin yung footprint kapag gumagamit na tayo nito? So we did actually a study, no? So doon sa mga pinakita ko sa inyo yung pictures kanina, we actually sum up na, for example, a typical capacity of a substation would actually require this using a conventional approach, no? So meron tayong standalone components na magkakaroon tayo ng transformer room, medium voltage room, and then the low voltage room, no? So medyo mas malaki siya compared to the CSS natin. So kung makikita nyo dito, mas maliit lang siya. And therefore, we can actually optimize the available or those area na hindi natin utilize to leasable area, no? Or to a revenue generating area. Then mas matutuwa pa yung mga owners natin dahil mas na ma-maximize natin yung space na binibigay sa atin para magamit pa nila sa ibang space na kailangan nila. Okay? And then compared to the e-house naman, kung makikita nyo dito, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, they're almost the same, no? But it's just that yung e-house natin is much larger compared to the compact secondary substation, because the e-house can accommodate larger capacity, larger rating of the equipment, no? So ang mangyayari niyan, kung for example, if we can limit the capacity to 3.5 MVA, then we can actually use this solution, which is a more compact solution. But if the design would require a higher capacity, then we will go for an e-house solution na. All right? Okay. So this is one of the things that we have to consider, no? Ito yung from the start of the discussion na mention ko na sa inyo, ano yung ba yung mga critical criteria na dapat nating i-consider pagka nagdi-design tayo ng substation. So ito yung mga dapat nating tignan kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng mga typical ng substation design. So dito, kung makikita nyo, sa conventional, no? Conventional approach, yung on-site build natin, traditional on-site build natin, no? So meron tayong engineering. So engineering, dito natin dinidefine ano ba yung mga equipments natin, ano ba yung mga sizes ng mga equipments natin, yung room layout natin, room sizing natin, coordination with the civil works, civil engineers, architects, no? Then that will actually consume this amount of time. Okay? And then, of course, we have to evaluate. No? Evaluate natin, of course, we have to evaluate each equipment, the transformer, the switchgear, the low voltage switchgear, independently. No? Kasi nga, isang individual equipment siya. So, this will also consume this amount of time. Then, approvals and purchasing. So, approvals and purchasing, especially kung magkakaroon tayo ng mga additional requirements for that project, then magkakaroon tayo ng larger or longer time to approve and purchase the equipment. So you have to prepare the documentations to purchase the switch gears. You have the documentations to prepare the transformers, and you have the documentation to prepare the low voltage switch gears, etc. So that's why this will also require such amount of time. No? Then we have the permitting, the site preparation, the structural works, the connection, testing, commissioning, and the final commissioning. Okay? So, yan yung total, or yan yung typical construction schedule from the design all the way to the installation, construction, installation, and commissioning of the substation. Okay? Pagkadating naman dito sa compact substation solutions na din-discuss natin, first, engineering, again, these are modular. Yung mga equipment natin are already rated based on the requirements of the project. So engineering-wise, and yung sizing natin is already standard. The layout natin is already standard. Then we don't need to coordinate much with the civil engineers and the architects. So engineering-wise, we will be able to save a lot of time. No? Then, of course, we will also minimize yung mga design issues natin, design coordination issues natin, or yung mga interfacing issues natin. Sometimes, nakakalimutan na o isama sa structural works, yung mga foundation na kailangan natin gawin. No? So, yan yung mga nasa-save natin na issues with these solutions. No? And then bid evaluation, again, it will not save much time because you still have to evaluate everything. But because this is a pre-standard or prefabricated standard product, therefore you will be evaluating the compact secondary substation as a whole. No? So that means hindi na siya kagaya nung dati na isa-isa pa pagka ini-evaluate and kapag pinipurchase. No? So with that, you will be able to save the approval and purchasing and the bid evaluation time. So, of course, sa mga designers natin, that will also help because that will also save them some time on the bid evaluation and, of course, recommendation to the customers. No? Site preparation, as I mentioned earlier, medyo malaking masisave natin na site preparation kasi as you saw in the pictures, in the illustrations, very minimal lang yung mga civil works, yung mga structural works na kailangan natin. Basically, the foundation or the foot of the framing of the equipment, yun lang naman yung mga kailangan natin i-prepare sa site. Para pagka-deliver, just ipapatong na lang natin yung equipment dun sa mga equipment floor frame natin or dun sa equipment foundation natin. So that is significantly saving your schedule, construction schedule in terms of site preparation. So makikita nyo, medyo malilibre na yung project schedule natin. And just imagine, no? Like what I mentioned earlier, itong equipment na ito, pinafabricate natin siya sa factory, which is a controlled environment. So for example, like ngayon, merong bagyo. Sometimes pagka masyadong malakas yung bagyo, kung nasaan yung project locations natin, we have to stop work. And pag nag-stop work, mag-stop yung civil works, mag-stop yung structural works, mag-stop yung architectural works. Then, ang mangyayari niyan, yung project schedule natin, hindi natin makukumply. Yung schedule ng magkakaroon tayo ng movement sa project schedule, yung delivery ng equipment natin, medyo ma-hold din. No? So, it will have an overall impact to the complete project schedule. Whereas, in this scenario, those prefabricated solutions natin, this is being manufactured, assembled, pre-wired, pre-tested in a controlled environment inside the factory. So that means it will not be affected by environmental or external weather conditions. So that means kahit ano pang uh, typhoons na dumarating, tuloy-tuloy lang yung manufacturing natin ng equipment. So we still able to meet the deadline or the project schedule kahit na magkaroon tayo ng delay dun sa construction schedule natin. No? So that's very important thing to consider when we are actually designing our substations. All right. Next, the transportation, as I shown earlier, very simple lang. Pagdating sa F80 pala, factory acceptance test. So dito sa conventional, we will have to conduct individual factory acceptance test, no? Factory acceptance test ng switchgear, RMUs, transformers, then low voltage switchgears. Dito kasi nandun na lahat sa isang factory, so nandun na lang lahat ng itetest natin, no? So in terms of factory acceptance test, whether remote or face-to-face factory acceptance test, we can also reduce that schedule. Okay, connection, again, these are all pre-wired, pre-tested, so wala na tayong interconnection cabling na kailangan gawin sa site. Once it's delivered, ang kailangan na natin i-connect is yung mga incoming and outgoing feeders natin, and that's it. So we will be also saving significant time pagdating sa connection. And sometimes, yun nga, kagaya ng na-mention ko kanina, kapag marami tayong equipment suppliers, no? And then we have a separate contractor para mag-integrate. So nagkakaroon tayo ng nawawalang scope sa interconnection or sa interfacing or sa controls ng mga equipment natin. And that's actually contributing to the delay of the project or to the schedule of the project, no? So imagine if it's already done in the factory, and and during the F80 we have already tested all the pre-wiring of the interconnections and interfacing of the equipment. Then pagdating nga sa site is a much faster connection and testing na lang po, no? And since there's only one company involved, wala na tayong several company na nakausap, therefore maiwasan natin yung mga risk of interfacing issues, no? So therefore, pagkarating dito sa total or integrated test natin, we are able to ensure na mas smooth yung magiging integrated testing commissioning natin. So all in all, based on this diagram, as you can see here, we can actually have an estimated of 50% improvement over traditional. Okay? So, doon sa mga compact secondary substation options na pinakita ko, it actually provides you a much better reliability and availability of the power supply, since we are able to provide different or accommodate different network topologies. Is more energy efficient kasi yung load management niya, like for example, hindi natin kailangan ng separate ACMB equipment. It is space saving, so smaller footprint. And of course, these are all flexible and modular. So these are all the key benefits that we will be able to get using the compact secondary substation solutions na discuss ko. Okay, so ito nga isang example, kagaya yung pinakita kong illustration kanina. So ano nga ba yung naging challenge nitong project na to? No, so meron siyang tight requirements to comply with customer site layout and footprint. So they are requiring monitoring, remote control, and integration solution to customer system. And they require a modular solution also for next phases. So phasing nga yung ginagawa natin project dito. No? So ang provide natin na solution is yung, of course, yung compact secondary substation natin na reliable, prefabricated, customized solutions, fully type-tested product to guarantee the safety and the reliability. And then it has provided the expansion capabilities with modular solution. And this is consisting of 11 container substations, including dry type transformers, secondary medium voltage switchgears using RMU and low voltage breaker. Excuse me. So kung makikita niyo dito sa picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anim lang. Anim pa lang na compact substations siya. But in total, we have delivered 11. No? So it's a fast delivery, able to meet client demands, and able to maintain profitable business operations. Okay. This is just another example. This is a cryptocurrency data center, no? So sa data center, like I mentioned, this is also applicable for data center project, no? So they want, of course, the robust and reliable electrical power supply, no? Of course, data centers, they will require a very fast delivery lead time para sa mga equipment natin because they want to operate as fast as they can. No? And of course, they are being done in phases, so they need to be able to expand in line with future developments, no? So we have also offered these compact substation solutions, and then we have provided the additional monitoring control compartment. We have provided remote control, status, and fault monitoring with SCADA integration. We use the right type transformer, and yes, we have delivered this project successfully, and it's now operational. Okay, so yung mga nag-cryptocurrency dito, yeah, we are one of the solutions provider of some cryptocurrency company. Okay, so just to provide you some actual pictures, no? Ito yung mga actual pictures natin. So ito yung complete assembly natin. So meron tayong low voltage switchgear, meron tayong dry type transformers, then meron tayong RMU, no? So pagka binuksan mo itong compartment na to, ito lang yung laman niya. Okay? So in some cases, kailangan natin magkaroon ng auxiliary control cabinet para sa mga interfacing niya, para sa substation automation. Then we can utilize also this compartment, no? So ito naman yung sa transformers natin. So kung makikita nyo, ito yung transformers natin. So all are natural ventilation only, no? Then of course, yung low voltage breakers natin for isolation purposes. Okay? Yeah, so similar with other cryptocurrency data center project. So ito 12 units naman yung dineliver natin, no? So it's the same requirements, no? Fast delivery time, customer required a scalable modular solution. So yep. Yeah. So another example, no? So I'll not go through the details now. I'll just send you this presentation slide later so you can refer. But typically, the objective is always faster delivery, easy installation, scalable and modular, and of course, optimization of the space. Okay, so ano nga bang key benefits or advantages ng compact substation natin compared to a standalone products, no? So first, low cost of ownership kasi we will be reducing the cost in project management, no, and installation and commissioning. So pinakita ko sa inyo yung savings kanina with regards to the project schedule natin and yung risk, no, na we have to manage. Of course, we have to allot resources to manage the equipment delivery for substation equipments, transformers, switchgears, whereas here you will be only managing one complete substation solutions, no? So it's just like a single product na lang din, no? And then another is the faster delivery. So again, I have explained also how it can help you with your project schedule, space saving, and of course, this is also safe as this is in compliance with IEC standard with regards to internal arc testing to guarantee the safety for operations, personnel, and public. Okay. So typical example. Ayan, typical example. Yep. So makikita nyo dito, ito yung compact substation solutions natin. So ito yung standalone components natin. So normally, sasabihin natin, kaya ko naman i-provide isa-isa eh, di ba? O sige, kaya mo i-provide isa-isa. Pero dito kasi, nakapackage na lahat eh. No? Ang wala lang talaga is ito, interconnection, na normally, ito nga yung nami-miss out palagi. No? So ito yung, pagka na-miss out to, nagkakaroon tayo ng variation orders o nagkakaroon tayo ng conflict with regards to scope of works, no? And we don't want that to happen. Of course, that is so because it may have been already included in the project budget, but perhaps because the scope is not clear, so nagiging variation order pa, no? So parang sayang din, no? Automation monitoring, so nagkakaroon pa tayo ng standalone box. And then of course, ito tested na sa package na. So one complete package na tinest compared to a single product na tinest lang. No? So yun yung mga major difference ng compact substation solutions natin compared to conventional substation approach. Okay? So ito, foundation, meron tayong isang foundation lang. Dito, we have to provide the foundation for each equipment. Incoming cables, so yun na lang kailangan natin gawin. Dito, kailangan natin yung interconnection cables between the medium voltage cable to transformer, medium voltage switchgear to transformer, low voltage switchgear to transformer, and then of course, the incoming cables, no? So just imagine, yung natitipid natin na time in regards to project installation. Project management cost, no? So dito meron tayong individual project management, or we have to manage individually the equipment. Make sure the equipment will come on time, delivered on site. So yung logistics nun, transportation have to be considered, have to be monitored, no? All throughout the project schedule, no? Whereas here, you just monitor the complete CSS. Okay, so this one is tested at factory. So complete testing dahil sa factory, as we know, kompleto yung mga testing equipment natin, yung mga testing facilities natin. Whereas here, those equipment will be tested at site. No? Transportation of one unit compared to transportation of components. So I don't think I have to explain that further. I think quite obvious naman kung ano yung magiging benefits natin pag isang equipment na lang yung tinatransport natin. Alright. So, yan yung isang example ng mga photos natin, no? Makikita nyo, ito yung mga dimensions niya. So I'll just give it to you for your reference para if ever you have some projects, then you can actually take these dimensions and plot it in your architectural plans para meron na kayong idea on how you will be able to utilize this solution into your project. Okay? Yeah. So just for your information, meron tayong mga lifting hook dito para sa delivery ng equipment natin. So these are all provided para sa transportation and delivery ng equipment natin. Yeah. All right. So project references. I'll just So project references, I'll just have a quick overview of the project references. So ito, battery energy storage, no? So completed na itong project na to, no? So ang cost nito is around 100 plus million US dollars, no? So they're using the EcoFlex solutions, no? So this is for a power generation company. And then if you have seen this one, this is all over the news. This is the San Miguel Battery Energy Storage Project. So this has been also completed and successfully commissioned and connected to NGCP. So they are also using those EcoFlex solutions na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. All right. Then another site. This is another site of another battery energy storage system, no? So ito kasi 230 kV, 60 megawatt hour, no? Whereas here 20 megawatt hour na lang to. So actually that the photo earlier is 3 times the size of this photo, no? So makita nyo, yeah, tatlong hilera siya. 1, 2, 3. So imagine if you are a best designer, no? So you don't have to redesign the whole thing. You can just copy and paste. Oh, ito ang kailangan kong size. Then that actually make our life easier, right? So if you need the preliminary design of this one, I can help you with that, no? Just let me know para magkaroon rin tayo ng standardized approach para doon sa mga design natin na menu. Okay, so this is for a renewable energy. So makita natin ito kung paano siya dinideliver, hino-hoist, no? So meron tayong mobile crane lang dito, no? So this renewable energy for an F&B segment customer. So nag-provide sila ng solar roof, no? And then yan yung ginamit natin na solutions. Okay, renewable plant. This is a solar plant. in Calatagan, Batangas, no? So meron tayong ginagamit na secondary schedule. Actually, hindi ko na na-discuss yung secondary schedules, but it's actually the same, no? It's in one skid, one platform, but the only difference is actually this has no enclosure. Merong separate enclosure lang yung bawat low voltage equipment tsaka yung mga inverters natin, no? And the rest are all outdoors, no? But it's the same compact substation solutions na mention ko earlier. Okay. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko sa inyo, depende sa laki ng size, no? So, sometimes, kagaya nito sa renewable plant, sa solar plant, napakalaki ng site natin dyan, no? So, it's not recommended na magkaroon tayo ng isang substation dito. Kaya nga tayo merong MVPS, no? Medium voltage power supply sa power system sa mga solar plants natin dahil nagkakaroon tayo ng medium voltage distribution dito sa buong solar plants natin, especially pag utility scale solar plant na siya. Okay. Okay, so yep. Yes. Okay, so this is for biogas, no? Biogas project. So this is also using the EcoFlex solutions na ginamit natin. Yeah, so consisting of switchgear, transformer, and LV switchgear. Yeah. So I think that's all. And I just would like to summarize, no? Now, yes, we have a complete portfolio for this type of solutions, no? And they're all type-tested products. They're all type-tested products, which provides the operator safety and high operational reliability. And then, of course, we can customize it to comply to local customer specifications and local codes and standards. Then the most important thing is you are transferring the risk or you are eliminating the risk of the coordinating, interfacing with several vendors, several manufacturers, several service providers, no? So all the risk will be transferred to a single manufacturer. Then with that, you will be able to reduce the client's resources for engineering and project management. And then of course, you test the total testing commissioning time, handover, the energization can be the energization period can also be reduced, and we can have a simplified commercial agreement, and we are able to provide site support for installation, commissioning, and startup. So, yeah, that's all for my presentation. So I allotted some time for question and answer. So if you have some questions, please feel free to unmute so we can discuss any concerns that you may have. Yeah, thank you very much.
Sir, question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead po, Sir Jojo.
Sir, yung po sir, mga prefabricated na mga built-in unit na substation na sir, yan may mga existing na fireproof or fire protection?
Yeah, yes sir. Actually, yung EcoFlex solutions natin o yung mga larger scale e-houses natin, once it is delivered to site, it has already provided with those auxiliary systems, no? Yung mga ACMV systems natin, lighting systems natin, yung mga receptacle systems natin, pati fire protection systems are all already provided inside those solutions. So you don't have to do anything inside those e-houses after it's been delivered to site. So it's all already done, prefabricated on the factory.
How about sir sa mga high-rise, medium-rise na project na condominium? Ano sir ang may suggest nyo o recommended na type of built-in na prefabricated na substation?
Yes, actually sir, you can also utilize, no, especially sa mga condominiums natin, no, kasi as we know, pagka condominiums, especially or mga commercial areas, they would like to maximize yung leasable areas nila for the tenants, di ba? Yung mga revenue generating areas nila. So actually itong substation na to, you can occupy just one or two, no, para lang sa accessibility. Parking slots, no, you can actually place it there para hindi ka na occupy ng space dun sa buildings natin, no. So this is actually one of the recommended solution also para ma-minimize natin yung mga floor area na required sa mga substation requirements natin.
Paano sir yung design nun? Halimbawa, ang given design sir ng building ninyo sa basement sir nakalukit. Paano sir ang magiging proposal ng isang consultant din sir? O paano ang gagawin?
Actually, sir, yes, sir. Actually, you have to consider, sir, kasi ano to, di ba? Commercial to, di ba? So, we have to consider yung incoming supply natin from Meralco. Whether we will be, do we need to have an RMU there or we will just have to provide some disconnect switch, no? So, ang magiging arrangement kasi natin dyan is magkakaroon lang tayo ng incoming, yung mga intake substation natin. So, that is where the compact substation can be utilized. And then sa distribution inside the building, of course, we will be having the typical electrical route for low voltage distribution na. And as we know, sa mga condominiums naman, medyo mababa lang naman yung loads niya, no? So hindi naman natin kailangan talaga magpatakbo ng mga malalaking cables, no? So that's why even though we distribute the loads in low voltage level, then it doesn't really would have any big impact doon sa overall cost ng project kasi nga mababa lang naman yung loads niya and residential lang yung applications niya.
So, ang mangyayari sir nun, susundin pa rin yung plano, then tsaka na lang sir yung sizing ng mga unit kung pagkakasyahin doon para hindi na ganun ba sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So basically, sa pinaka-incoming supply mo lang to, well, if you will still be because normally naman sa mga condo na naman natin, hindi naman tayo gumagamit pa ng mga ibang RMU, except if yung mga commercial spaces yung mga nandyan, di ba? Or mga offices area. Pero sa mga residential areas natin, typically, nagkakaroon tayo ng transformer, then low voltage distribution na, no? So perhaps sa condominium, kagaya nung pinakita ko, hindi naman talaga one of the main applications nitong product natin. But it can be also utilized if in case you want to consider. Kasi nga, makakatipid ka pa rin ng space all in all.
Basta yung mga equipment sir niyan, kung naman sir yung mga anong nakalagay dun sa mga sizes, na modify naman sir yan, lahat naman sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, pwede siyang mas maliit. Yung pinakita ko kasing size is yung pinakamalaki na doon sa compact substation natin, no? Yung CSS natin. So, siya na yung pinakamalaki based on 3.5 MVA. So, if yung transformer natin will be much smaller, then we can have actually a much smaller footprint naman. So, that will also save some space. So, again, if your application is for condominium, I don't think this will require a very big power supply. So you can have a smaller size or smaller footprint of CSS.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Jaime.
Yes, sir. Matanong ko lang kanina, no, yung kanina nag-iisip ako yung mga opening ng mga equipment. Yung bandang huli, may pinakita ka mga pinto. Iniisip ko kasi, maintenance-wise, parang hindi kaya mahirap. Kunyari, inspection ka ng cable yung connection ng cable, tsaka yung magre-reading ka. Accessible ho ba lahat doon?
Yes, sir. Accessible. Opo, sir. Accessible lahat to, sir. So, balik tayo sa layout para lang may point of discussion tayo, sir, ha?
Okay.
Ito, sir, no? Ito yung layout na pinakita ko, sir. Tama ba?
Yan.
Yes,
yan. Yan, lahat
yes,
meron. Ang nasa gitna, yung transformer, yung time natin.
Yes, sir. No? Tama po. Dito po yung transformer natin.
Okay. What about the medium voltage switchgear mo na nakalagay dyan?
Ito po, sir.
Saan banda yun? Sa right side o sa left side?
We can interchange, sir. Depende sa orientation.
Okay. Anyway, kasi sa grid substation na ginagawa namin, meron kami mga ABB equipment like Unigear, for example, ABB.
Yes, sir.
Unigear, ang sa inyo, no, ABB? Unigear.
Yes, sir. Tama po.
Nado-draw out o rack out yung circuit breaker. What about the circuit breaker here? Anong type ng medium voltage switchgear diyan?
Yes. Okay, sir. Actually, ang medium voltage switchgear na ginagamit natin dito is ring main unit, no? Kasi sir, kasi sir, we're trying to save the space, no? So for a much compact design, of course, we will go for ring main units, no? So hindi natin ginagamit yung AIS natin. So therefore, sir, yung breaker natin is not the withdrawable type compared to sa air insulated switchgear natin.
Paano naman yung wala na siya city dyan or what, or to monitor the voltages, current, wala na.
Ano po sir? Sorry po, wala na pong...
Yung city natin para sa
meron pa rin sir.
meron pa rin para sa
Opo sir.
monitoring.
Yes sir, kompleto pa rin po tayo lahat, but hindi po tayo gumagamit ng air insulated kasi po yung space yung constraint natin. So meron po tayong ito po sir, pakita ko po sa photos natin para po may, ayan, ito sir. So ito po yung ring main unit natin sir. I think makikita niyo po siya sa mga, normally makikita niyo sir sa mga solar plants or do sa mga areas where actually there's a space constraint, no, kasi much ano siya sir, no. Of course it will be using the SF6 gas as insulation po natin sir, no. Yan po naman yung disadvantage niya compared sa AIS, but with regards to compactness, mas compact siya, and but still this is a complete switchgear sir. So nandito po yung mga CTPT natin para sa monitoring and control po nung RMUs po natin. So it's still a complete switchgear. The only difference, the insulating medium, which is using SF6 gas po, sir.
Well, ano reason behind bakit hindi yung normal switchgear na ginamit
AIS.
instead of RMU?
Yung AIS natin, sir, yung tinatanong mo na. So, alam mo naman, sir, well, the main reason bakit RMU yung ginagamit natin is because of the size, the footprint of air insulated switchgear po natin. Kasi sir, yung, di ba mga withdrawable type po kasi yun sir, yung mga ano natin. So medyo malaki sir yung mga footprints talaga ng mga AIS natin compared to sa RMUs natin. Kaya it will affect the overall dimensions, no? And of course, since this is actually as you can see sir sa layout naman natin, nakita nyo, we trying to maximize yung mga compartments natin. So yung accessibility sa back natin, if we will be having an air insulated switchgear, will not be provided na rin. So that will actually double up the space. Kasi meron din tayong mga air insulated switchgear which is front operated, no? Pero mas malaki yung depth niya pagka ganun. So therefore, if we will be using the air insulated switchgear, it will actually double the size of the compartment for the medium voltage compartment po. So that's the reason why we don't use the air insulated switchgear for this particular compact substation, sir. But we have some cases, sir. I can show you the photo here. Let me just. We have used the air insulated switchgear inside the containerized solution, yung EcoFlex po naman natin. Yun naman po yung ginagawa natin, air insulated switchgear. Wait lang po. Sorry, hindi ko natas. Actually, itong portion na to, sir. Itong kung makita niyo sa picture to. I'll send some picture of this one, sir. Actually, itong container solution na to is using air insulated switchgear. Yun yung pinaka main substation natin eh. Yun yung pinaka collection substation natin before it actually goes to the grid. So, ang ginagamit po natin dyan is yung air insulated switchgear natin because of the capacity na po and the short circuit rating. So we are able to use the air insulated switchgear in the container solutions but not using the compact secondary substation na pinakita ko kanina, sir. Using the EcoFlex or the e-houses po.
Okay. Yung transformer, doon naman tayo sa transformer. Meron po tayo dyang linalagay na SA dyan. SA. Surge arrestor.
Yes, sir. Opo, sir. Kompleto na, sir. Actually, we can place the surge arrestor doon sa switchgear po natin, sir. Doon sa RMU po natin.
Sa RMU na linalagay?
Yes po, sir. Opo.
I see. Actually, meron kami niyan doon nung pag meron kaming sa substation, yung grid substation, pag meron kaming major na maintenance, dinadala kaming nakalagay sa truck, mobile substation.
Mobile substation, yes sir, opo.
Parang ganyan din yata yun.
Very good. Tama po, sir. Actually, sir, just to share, share ko lang po yung mga ibang experience ko, So, sometimes, meron akong kausap na client na naghahanap sila ng solution. They are actually for a container terminal po, sir, container terminal facility, So, as we know, sir, marami silang mga gantries doon, So, actually, this is one of the solutions that I propose kasi basically, they can actually use the gantry to relocate yung mga compact substation na to, sir, So, this is modular, So they use the gantry to hoist up and bring it to other location where they need the power supply. So
aha.
they don't need to actually invest for a new structure to have a substation on that area. They can just
Exactly.
relocate it, sir. Yan, sir.
Exactly.
So,
Oo.
very helpful din ako po. And tama po
Oo.
yung ginawa niya, sir. And
Ah.
ngayon, sir, may mga ibang customers, mga client na gusto na mag-invest na para siyempre backup supply nila, sir, in case something happens or during maintenance, no? Mini-maintain nila yung mga switch nila, so naka-down. They can still
Mm.
provide temporary power supply dun
Temporary.
sa facility nila. So,
Oo.
yun lang, sir. Very ano naman, sir, di ba? Nakita naman natin is modular and
Oo.
kaya natin
Tama.
ilipat anytime, no?
Oo, nakalagay lang
So,
siya sa ibabaw ng truck eh.
yes, sir. Tama po kayo, sir. So, yeah, you're very right on that, Sir Jaime po. Thanks for
Ah.
sharing po.
Sige po. Thank you po sa sa sagot niyo po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Any other question po? Okay. Sige, please feel free to unmute lang po para po masagot natin yung mga questions natin.
Maraming tanong yata sa chat.
Sa chat ba? Teka lang. Open ko lang yung chat natin. Sige. Let me see, Okay, question. Pwede pong magtanong, sir, kung may free e-cert po ba ito? I will let Ma'am Chi answer this question na lang po later, no? I think si Northern Laguna chapter po ang makasagot ng e-cert certificate po nito, no? The next question is brochure. Yes, I will be sending brochure. So I will be sending the brochure to the organizers. Then perhaps the organizers can distribute it to the members or the attendees of this event.
May technical yata dyan. Technical question.
Nagpaparental po ba si ABB for switchgear and transformer like Agreco is? Sorry, ma'am. Sir Japet, wala po kaming rental business. So, but we can offer you, no, perhaps bago siya na mag-store ng sarili yung compact substation, you can reuse naman po and you can transfer it wherever site you need it. Okay, hello sir. Question na po. This safe to use installed in an open area that are prone to lightning strike? Yes, sir. Yes, this is still safe to use. That's why, like what Sir Jaime has mentioned, meron tayong pinaprovide ng mga search arresters. And then, of course, we have to make sure the compliance to our Philippine Electrical Code with regards to lightning protection system. No? So those will still be compliant. So we will be providing you the tapping point para po pag dadating natin sa site, i-connect na lang po natin siya dun sa mga ground runs natin for lightning protection system. So it depends po dun sa location. Like for example, if we have a very high facility, cover na naman po siya ng rolling spear method natin, then that would be subject to the design requirements po. But of course, definitely we have to comply to lightning protection requirements as per our Philippine Electrical Code. All right? Presentation, okay, same. Have you designed as per Sir Sylvester, no? Have you designed and supplied a 16 kV primary and 13.2 kV secondary substation? Yes, sir. This is quite typical sa mga utilities, no? Ganito yung mga distribution levels nila. So, yes, we have already designed and supplied this kind of distribution system. So, in some cases, even 34.5 to 16 kV, we also have provided that. So, if you have some requirements, just please let us know and we can help you with that, Sir Sylvester. Okay? Okay. And under case Sir Bienvenido Caringan, how will it comply with the required working space dedicated space of electrical equipment as per PEC requirements? So, sir, as I mentioned earlier, the equipment, the complete substation equipment itself has already been tested in accordance with the IEEE standards, no? So sa PEC kasi sir, ang inaano natin doon is yung clearance, no? with regards to live conductors, again, between the live conductors and the ground, and live conductors to live conductors. So we have already made sure that this will comply the IEC requirements po, sir, no? And that has been tested to the IEC standards. So as of now, of course, our PEC has been based to, as we know, National Electrical Code, no? And we are complying to IEC standards, no? So we are in the process of harmonizing our PEC to IEC, no? So as of now, sir, if you're talking about the table that has been given in the Philippine Electrical Code, yes, sir, it's not really that is not able to comply because what we are complying is the IEC code, sir. So
Sir, sorry.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sir, yung test ninyo, ulit lang po ako na, sorry.
Sige lang po,
Yung
sir.
test ninyo, yung si ABB nag-type test po dyan.
Yes, sir. Type tested according to IEC standard.
Okay. Hindi po na ano yan ng third party, like for example Kima.
Oh yes, sir. Kima, ang mga nagte-test niyan is sila Kima, sir. Sila Kima, Ceci, sila
Tama. So aside
yes,
from ABB, nag-type test yung ABB, nagpadala pa kayo ng equipment sa
yes, sir.
Kima.
Third party, yes, sir.
Third
Third party, yes.
Good.
Kasi sir, if I understand correctly yung question, meron kasi tayo sa PEC, sir, yung table natin, yung clearances between safe clearances between working spaces, sir, di ba? So of course, if you going back to this illustration, para meron tayong point of discussion. Okay. So of course, sir, if you were talking about this one, we're talking about kasi yung open yung yung sa PEC kasi ang pinag-usapan natin is yung clearance between the live conductors and the ground, di ba? So yun yung working space mo eh. So this equipment is actually accessible fully in front lang po, no? So ngayon I have to be very transparent kasi may mga vertical clearances po tayo sa loob ng equipment po natin na of course recommended dito sa NEC natin, sa PEC natin, but what is not really complied kasi nga, di ba, type testing nga tayo, kaya medyo mas maliliit na yung mga clearances natin between face to face and face to ground, sir. So, yun yung natin, yun yung I think yung pinaka-juice nitong question na to. So, I have to be very transparent that this has been tested only in accordance to IEC standards, no? So, yun po yung hindi natin I think ma-comply if that's the correct term, no? So yung clearances, but it has been already adopted here in the Philippines. It has been used. So I think we have to just officialize and complete the harmonization of IEC and Philippine Electrical Code.
Anyway, sir, yung equipment mo na, like for example yung yung array mo na naka GIS na yan eh.
Yes, sir.
Nakagas na yan eh. Kahit maliit lang ng konting distance clearance ng ng line to ground or line to line eh, malakas ang insulation ng ng gas yung SF6. At the same time, sa AIS naman, kung ang clearance naman dyan, hindi kung 13.8 lang yun, 33, hindi naman masyadong malaki yan. Kaya, ang sa akin, dahil nagkakabit din kami ng 33 kV na switchgear, nagkakabit din kami na 13.8, nagkakabit kami. Ang clearance sa mga AIS o GIS, sa GIS namin, yung 132 o 380 kV, hindi naman masyadong hindi naman critical. Basta namimit mo yung yung clearance, like for example sa air insulated niya, nandoon naman makikita kung titignan mo yung switchgear, halos magkatabi lang naman sila, hindi naman yung tabing-tabi, no? May konting tsaka doon sa body, hindi masyadong yung workability, kasama na po yan sa na-test, malalaman na yung workability kung magkano ka ng cable, accessible eh. Hindi accessible siya. Yan ang nakikita ko dyan sa mga pag na-type test siya. Lahat kasi, pasasabugin pa nga yan sa type test eh.
Actually, sir, kasi meron kasing mga ano eh, may mga, like for example, ito isang naalala ko sa, I think, chapter 4 to ng PEC, sir, 4.8 eh, yung clearance niya with non-insulated bus bars should be 250 mm. So I have to be very honest kasi nga very much smaller yung creepage distance natin, no?
Oo. Oo.
Kasi nga type tested na siya. So we have guaranteed naman that it can actually withstand yung mga mechanical strength, yung mga dielectric strength natin. So
Exactly.
that's why it has been adapted, no? But
And
if
then,
you were if the question is just bluntly asking about compliance on the dimensions, the clearances, then of course I will also be very transparent to say no, it's smaller than what is specified, but it has been tested in accordance to international standards.
IEC.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Opo. And I hope that answered the question ni Sir Bien. Sir Bien, you have any follow-up questions on that, sir?
Actually, I'm okay naman kasi actually I'm from San Miguel. So, isa ako sa mag-audit ng BESS namin. So, yun nga, kasi we have a checklist doon ng mga in-audit namin. And then, of course, yung PEC, yung namin standard. So at least ngayon na may answer na yun. If we go there and audit yung aming BESS. So, yun na yung explanation na rin. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So those dimension shall be complied, sir, if the equipment, especially mga locally fabricated panels natin, shall conform to those dimensions specified on PEC, Philippine Electrical Code. Kasi wala silang ibang basis to guarantee that their equipment is safe or compliance to any standards, no? And the type testing is actually that. That's why if you'll notice, yung mga non-type tested will have a more bigger footprint, much bulky equipment compared to those type tested equipment. Kasi yung type tested equipment is conducted to actually prove that the creepage distance provided in the internal of the switchgear is actually compliant and can withstand those conditions required in the type testing parameters. So I think that should be able to address your concerns, sir, if ever you're doing some audits with your equipment. So perhaps if you have some type tested equipment, then you can take a look where are the type testing certificates, and then you can check. This should have been checked kasi normally kasama ko sa San Miguel factory acceptance test. May-measure na namin yung mga distance in accordance to the manufacturing drawings, which is based on the type tested drawings then, no? So but you can check if it's compliant to the previous to the type testing or to the manufacturer's drawing. Baka naman kasi may ginawang modification sa site, then hindi na compliant talaga yung equipment. So yeah, that's a good practice, and that's what I can recommend to you, Sir Bian.
Sir, to add nga sa SF6, imagine 132 kV.
Yes, sir.
132 kV, imagine SF6. Nandoon lang yung tatlong phase sa isang encapsulated na tabi-tabi sila ron, 132. Isipin
Yes, sir. Encapsulated naman yun, sir. No?
GIS kasi siya, kahit yung niya, kahit yan dyan sa nakaloob siya sa RMU. Imagine talagang yung insulation niya, maayos yung dyan sa RMU. Kaya nga kino-compare ko siya sa 132 kV na almost less than 40 cm lang yung diameter eh. So, nandoon lahat yung tatlo. 132.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Kaya nga, yun nga, specifically sagot ko na if we just based on the dimension, then no. But if we talk about the holistic review of the equipment, then I can say yes, it's compliant to international standards. Okay po. Sige. Question pa. Sir, does ABB can make a design, modify a prefabricated emergency generator with compact substation? Well, I have to be very transparent, Sir Jojo, no? ABB is not a manufacturer of a generator. So we have not designed a generator integrated with a compact substation. But I have to check, sir, if we can accommodate your request. And if you can provide us some single line diagram, then perhaps I can take a look if we can provide you a customized solutions. And I will, and I'll get back to you on how we can able to deliver it to your office. Okay. Next question pa. Wait lang ha. Presentation. Compact. Okay. I'll key in the I'll key in my ph.abb.com, and I'll also give you my contact number. So I have chat in the chat box yung contact details ko, my email address, and my personal number. So if you have some question, clarification, you can also feel free to message me or drop me an email anytime. So,
Sir, meron pa isang tanong sa umpisang-umpisa about city.
ano yun, sir?
Meron pa isang nagtanong eh. About city, kung pwedeng gamitin ng donut type, sinasabi niya multi.
Okay. Yes, sir. No. There's no naman, sir. There's no problem with regards to the type of CT and VT that we will be using. It will still be the same CT-PT that we have been used in a typical medium voltage switchgear. The only difference nga, kagaya nung napag-usapan namin ni Sir Jaime, is that we are actually using an SF6 gas insulated switchgear and not an AIS, no. So both are also using CT and PTs, no. So whether is it CT type, donut type, whether is it donut type or black type CT PT, yeah, then we can also accommodate. If there's a specific requirements, then we can comply with that. No issue with that naman po.
Kahit multi-core pa siya eh.
Yes. Kahit multi-core pa siya, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir, at MVRMU side, what is the maximum lines can be added for parallel connection to other substation? Can we add MVRMU out the CSS to provide additional terminal? Yes, sir. Sir Joseph, yes, you can actually add additional medium voltage RMU outside the compact secondary substation to provide additional medium voltage distribution. And in fact, there are some cases where we have supported some existing substation, and we have provided additional CSS to increase the capacity of the substation. So vice versa, it can be done. So that's the beauty of this. This is very flexible. So wala naman po tayong issue dyan sa requirements nyo na yan. Okay? Ang PC code yan, di ba ang IIEE standard? Sir Sylvester, I have key in my contact details sa chat group. So please feel free to drop me a message anytime. Sir, your switchgear has sight glass or thermal mirror. That is good. Sir, yung switchgear natin, actually, wala tayong sight glass or thermal mirror. As you can see in the photo, pakita ko na lang ulit para. So if in case this is required, we can do some request para ma-accommodate natin dun sa fabrication natin. Ito sir, typical structure ng RMU natin, no? So we do not have the sight glass here or thermal imaging. But what is more efficient now is if you want thermal imaging, then we can just provide the thermal sensors integrated with the switchgear. So yun na yung mga asset monitoring system natin. No? So integrated na yung mga thermal sensors natin so that you don't have to conduct regular thermal scanning. It will actually provide you a 24/7 condition monitoring. So just imagine, no? Just imagine merong just imagine meron tayong ginawang thermal scanning and then later on yung fault nangyari after ng thermal scanning. So what we are going to report to our management, no? Nag-thermal scanning kami, okay naman, wala namang problema. Hindi ko alam bakit nagka-fault yan. Hindi natin alam, nung after ng thermal scanning natin, doon nagkaroon ng rodents or mga vermins or any dust pollution inside, dust contamination inside doon sa mga termination compartments natin. Then, hindi natin na-monitor na nagkaroon na pala ng overheating during that period of time na hindi tayo nag-thermal imaging. Whereas if we have the thermal sensors, then we can monitor anywhere, anytime yung health status or yung temperature ng mga terminations natin. So that can actually, I think that would be more helpful to you, Sir John Leonil Patria. Okay? Ay, direct message na pala yung mga yan. Sorry. Sir Noel Ramos, I'm not sure if we have video recording, but I will share this slide to you also. Solar Philippines is one of our stream client, so thank you very much for patronizing ABD. Okay, any other questions po? Na hindi ko pa nasagot, meron pa ba? Okay, I think wala na. So, Sir Jaime, thank you very much for your support, no? Para hindi naman ako mag-isa nagsasalita dito.
Okay lang yun. Okay lang yun.
Mamaya wala na pala
pero hindi naman ako sa Northern Laguna. Ano lang ako. Sa iba ako. Sa ibang chapter ako. Kaya inaano ko lang yung yung base sa experience ko lang.
Thanks for sharing your experience, sir. Okay, I think without any further ado, baka na nagmamadali na rin yung mga kasamahan natin dito. See you on Saturday, no, sa face-to-face GMM natin. So hopefully makapag-discuss ulit tayo ng mga iba't ibang topic do sa discussion na yan. Okay, Sir Oliver? Sir
Hello,
Dan?
sir. Hello, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, sir, good afternoon. Wala na po si Ma'am Chi nauna na. May pinuntahan na po
Bata pa naman si Ma'am Shia.
Siguro, sir, i-present ko lang yung screen ko to award our certificate of appreciation.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, hello, sir. The Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines, Northern Laguna Chapter, the IIEE Best Chapter Hall of Famer, award the Certificate of Appreciation to Engineer Jericho Don O. Medel, ACPE PE CEN, for sharing his technical expertise and profound knowledge as resource speaker in the Thursday Delight webinar entitled Compact Substation Design, given the 27th of July 2023, signed by our VP for Technical Affairs, Anthony Jefferson Atienza, our President, Rodelito V. Manalo, and our National VP External Affairs, Ma'am Esperanza A. Collado. So, again, sir, thank you for this wonderful topic. Sana po sa Saturday naman, marami-rami din tayong attendees. So again, sir, see you on Saturday po. Siguro yung posting po natin sa page for the invitation ng ating third general membership meeting. So Siguro yung mga NLC members, pwede po kayong umattend at face-to-face na po ulit tayo ngayon. So again, Sir Jericho Medel, thank you po.
Thank you very much, sir.
So,
At your service.
Thank you,
till
Sir
next time po ulit.
Jericho.
Ah,
Thank you very much.
sige.